You're listening to Big World Network.
Average, Season 1, Episode 12. Written by Jonathan Thompson, read by Heather Thompson. An immediate panic thought of, "He can hear my thoughts?" rang through my head, followed by, "Stop listening to my thoughts!" Trust me, I wish I could. As soon as I opened my mouth, a lifetime of pent-up geekery burst out. How does it work? What does my brain sound like? How did you Slow down, Quinn. First of all, my mind is very special. It doesn't work like most people's. I'm not sure if you can understand that. Mind reading isn't as simple as movies make it seem. Have you ever really paid attention to your thoughts? They're probably a jumbled mess. He was definitely right about that. Nobody can hear everything you think. It just wouldn't make sense. I've only met a few people who are as gifted as me, and they can only hear thoughts about certain topics. So what do you hear? I asked. Anything that has to do with me, he said frankly. You can read people's minds, but only when they're thinking about you? He answered proudly. It's because I had to learn to protect myself, so my superior mind developed it as a defense mechanism. Looking back on it now, it was only my excitement that held me back from thinking terribly insulting thoughts in response to his boasting, so I kept the conversation moving. So why are you telling me? Why now? You already figured it out, didn't you? You've been testing me all night. I knew what you were doing. That's why you were insulting my food and shouting at me the whole time. But you kept it a secret for years. Why tell me now? Quinn, please, I know what I'm doing. You proved yourself dealing with that idiot at your school. That's exactly how I would have handled him. Proved myself? At what? I asked, confused and excited. Can I please finish? Cosmo said. I hadn't actually cut him off, or at least I didn't think so, but he just said that sometimes, so I learned to ignore it. It was like a snotty word whisker. If you just let me finish my thought, you'll probably find it answers your question. Silence. He wanted a, "Yes, sir," or "I'm so sorry." Instead, I made it awkward right back. But still, I was intrigued. He obviously had a plan, and in the comics, mind readers were the sages, the guides. They had the plans that shaped lives and changed destinies, and I desperately needed shaping and changing. Someone has to help these people, he said in exasperation. What people? I asked. Supers, he huffed. I mean, I love your dad like a son, but he's no genius. I froze. I hadn't even considered what it meant to have a mind reader around my father. So you know? Of course I know. Please, Quinn, I'm a very intelligent man. I've known since he was a kid. He was cleaning my gutters. His family didn't have a lot of money, so I tried to give him work around my house, 'cause, you know me, I'm very charitable. I'm always trying to help people. Another leading silence. Anyway, he continued after a few beats, I walked outside and your dad was on the roof. I heard him think, did he see me fly up here? I've heard 1,000 thoughts like that from him since. Does he know you know? I asked, finally sitting down on an old bench against the opposite wall. No, but I never told anybody, and he doesn't know I'm gifted either. But that isn't the point, Quinn. What is, then? You need to take over. The supers don't listen to me anymore. Don't trust me. A couple other readers got jealous and started spreading rumors about me in the union. You seem like you're smart enough to fill my spot. Maybe. You led the union? My dad was in the union and went to the meetings. If Cosmo was a leader there, how would Dad not know? Not officially, no. Too much politics. The union doesn't do any real good anyway. I can get more done on my own. What were you doing there, then? I'm a thinker, Quinn. You know that. I was trying to catalog the powers, define them each individually. I have a theory that, while there might be a predisposition to powers in the family, I think that an individual's life experiences make their powers unique to them. And they won't talk to you anymore? No, they're all too petty. So you want me to get them talking? Yeah, of course I still want to oversee your work, to make sure it meets my standards. Sure, I said. I still wasn't sure about this, but it sounded like an interesting project. But why would they talk to me? I don't have any powers. Because you're Ultrarian's son, They'll talk to you, trust me, I know. Besides, I think you do have a power. You just have to find it. Talking to all these supers might help you to figure out how it works. It's actually made sense to me. I had always loved and been absorbed in comics, not so much for the stories, but for the characters themselves. The chance to systematically perform character studies on a literal league of superheroes was pretty much my childhood dream, on steroids. And of course there was the issue of my own supership. Maybe interviewing these others would help me get a better idea of the genetics behind it, so that I could understand what my problem was. I'll do it. I knew you would! Oh, and don't tell your father. I've purposely kept him in the dark. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I'll tell him when I'm ready. There was a beat while I weighed this over. I couldn't understand why Cosmo hadn't just told my father, or how I would interview the entire union without their poster boy finding out, but hey, I was feeling reckless. You can start with my family, Cosmo said, smiling.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.
You're listening to Big World Network.